Back to Hardball now for the sideshow. First up, to the crazy talk. Radical televangelist Pat Robertson has some words of wisdom, surprisingly, for the 2012 GOP lineup. Think he's got some fire of his own to add to the mix? Well, you'll be surprised. Let's listen.
I believe it was Lyndon Johnson that said, don't these people realize that if they push me over to an extreme position that I'll lose the election? Those people in the Republican primary have got to lay off this stuff. They're forcing their leaders, the front runners, into positions that will mean they lose the general election. They've got to stop this. It's just so counterproductive. Well, if they want to lose, this is the game for losers.
Wow. Well, this is coming from the guy who said earlier this year that it would be reasonable to divorce your spouse if they are diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Well, if he says things are going overboard with the extreme comments out there on the right, it's time for them to reevaluate, don't you think? Next up in the hot seat, GOP candidate John Huntsman stopped by the Colbert Report last night and was game for everything from his previous post as ambassador to China to his rather low standing in the polls. He must have known it was all coming. Am I right? Well, let's listen.
You speak Mandarin, do you not?
I do.
Okay. Say the most non-scary thing, if you don't mind. Would you say the most non-scary, nicest thing in Mandarin, please?
我很想你做我的副美国总统.
Terrifying. What did you just say? What did you just say?
I just said, I think that you'd ought to consider being my running mate for vice president.
Well, sir, recent polls, you are at 2%. Are you ready for the Colbert bump?
I am so ready for the Colbert bump.
We're going to get you, Governor, you may be at 2%. We're going to get you up to whole milk.
Now, we had him here last week. It seemed like he was hoping the Colbert bump had a little more substance to it. Anyway, then fast forward to this evening's late night scene. Who's heading up the Tonight Show tonight with Jay Leno? None other than President Obama himself. And we've got an advanced highlight, actually, from the back and forth, which was taped earlier today. Let's listen to Tonight's Tonight.
Now, have you been watching the GOP debates?
I'm going to wait until everybody's voted off the island.
Really?
Once they narrow it down to one or two, I'll start paying attention.
Well, funny stuff. Although we know from his previous comments, he hasn't waited until everybody gets voted off the island. He has caught the more unsavory moments of the debate, such as when audience members booed a gay soldier over in Iraq. That was one of the glimpses the president caught. He's obviously been taking a look now and then at the other side of the race. By the way, catch the president on the Tonight Show tonight, the whole show with Jay Leno tonight, of course, on NBC.